Hello, friends, and welcome inside to an all-new edition of Talk of Champions, a pre-Lincoln regional edition of Talk of Champions, a pre-going to Jake at the Lincoln, Nebraska regional edition of Talk of Champions. I'm Ben Garrett, at Spirit Ben on Twitter. He's Brad Logan, at Brad Logan TOC. If you haven't seen it, if you haven't heard, the COTE is dead. The TOC, it now holds for Brad Logan on Twitter, at Brad Logan TOC. Check him out there on Twitter. Also, the Ole Miss Spirit, OMSpirit.com to flip on 3. This QR code right above my head, $1. You can try us out for 5 days before switching to an annual sub, but $1 to join, scan this and join us at the Ole Miss Spirit, OMSpirit.com. Hey, Brad, how we doing?
Doing good. Fired up about the game tonight. Excited to have Jake live from Hawks Field, Haymarket Park there in Lincoln, Nebraska, as the Rebels. What a day. I mean, we'll get into it, but this day has been insane. It's either been like a blowout or like the top seed loses. I mean, it's been wild. College baseball is just insane.
Yes, obviously for those that are unaware, the game that jumps out to me the most, I assume that you're probably feeling the same way, is Auburn. Auburn got gobsmacked today, Brad. What did you make of that one, and the Tigers falling in the first game of their regional?
Yeah, that really surprised me. That really surprised me more than UCLA losing the top seed out in LA. I think from Ole Miss's standpoint, I mean, there's not been the first pitch thrown, so I don't think anybody needs to get too excited. No. But if you head your way, you would like for Auburn to lose, and that's exactly what's happened. So the first domino has failed. And if Ole Miss can come out of this regional, and I've talked to a lot of people, and they like Ole Miss's chances, there's a situation where you got it. Postseason baseball could theoretically be back in Oxford. You have to see, obviously, what seed wins and the 2 seed versus the other 2 seed size of the stadium and all that good stuff. But, yeah, the first domino fell, but the Rebels have to take care of business tonight. We'll talk about Hunter Elliott and his start. We'll talk about it with Jake coming up here in just a little bit. But just to be able to see – and honestly, I've been very, boisterous that I felt like that Ole Miss might want to go Taylor Rabe route. But here's the thing. I mean, Hunter Elliott, you ride the horse that brung you. And Mike made a point, Ben, when we were there on Monday, to talk about the important thing about Hunter Elliott being one of the members of that 22 national championship team and having him back. I can absolutely understand having Hunter Elliott throwing out the first pitch today, and we really hope he has a good outing. Yep, you're right. Game is 8 o'clock tonight. They got the number 1 crew, Carl Ravitch and Kyle Peterson on ESPN2. Great stage for Ole Miss tonight as they face Arizona State. Really good team. They'll face Cole Carlton, a left-hander. He's 5-2 in the year, 3.51 ERA. He's given up 63 hits and 31 runs, and has walked 29. It's a situation. He started 15 games, and he's their number 1 guy. 15 appearances, and he's from the left side of the mound. And so Ole Miss is going to start against the left-hander Carlton, and kind of the road is kind of in front of him. We talked all year about metrics are good, specifically at the end of the year, about strength of schedule, RPI, and all that. But literally, the road is in front of them. If they win this regional, there is a theoretical chance. If Auburn continues to, they can't come out of their regional. And there's a lot of hay to be put in the bar. But if Auburn loses out or whatever, doesn't come out of the regional, there could be postseason baseball in Oxford. But Ole Miss has to take care of business in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Yes, I do not want to put any carts before horses.
No, not at all. But you have to talk about what's happening before us.
Yes. And what the scenario could be. Like, that's what we talked about earlier this week here on Talk of Champions. Powered, as always, by our friends at Riverland Roofing. That little house up top, not wearing the hat today, went with this, like, old-school UM. I don't know, it felt very baseball-y to me. Got the old Mahal baseball behind me. But here's the little house that's always up top. It's Riverland Roofing, 662-644-4297, online at riverlandroofing.com. My thanks to them, as always. Y'all don't know how much Riverland does for Ole Miss athletics. They're awesome. Billy, what's up? You're great. Thanks to, of course, Allen Samuels Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Oxford. I'm driving, or my wife is, not me. I'm still driving my 04 BRT. It's an F-150 that's big. It's red and it's a truck, but that's about it. She's driving a brand new 2022, I should say, Wagoneer. Thanks to Allen Samuels Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Oxford for your next truck car Jeep. I think I nailed that in that order. It used to be easier. It's Allen Samuels Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Oxford. Online at allensamuelsoxford.com. Call them at 662-234-8000. They're awesome. Mason and Brian, they're great Ole Miss people. And, man, they'll take care of you. They're like old friends. They are old friends at this point. They've been with us for almost 20 years, I think. Certainly that long at the Ole Miss Spirit, OleMissSpirit.com, and affiliate on 3. That's the QR code. Scan it. Sign up today for $1. Try us out for 5 days. It's been an insane day, Brad. You kind of touched on it there. I like this kind of summation of it. From 11.7 college baseball at 11.7 on Twitter. Not even through the day game slate. 3s over 2s. Number 3 seed Liberty over Boston College. Kentucky over Wake Forest. East Carolina over Tennessee. USC Upstate over Oklahoma State. 4s over 1s. Little Rock over Southern Miss. Milwaukee over Auburn. We've already touched on Auburn. You said that was the one that kind of shocked you the most. I don't know, man. Southern Miss, yeah.
But, I mean, Southern, I love Christian Ostrander.
Hold on. The reason I say that is because Southern Miss, not because they're one of the in-state schools here and they're hosting. If Ole Miss would have hosted, it would have been the first time ever that all 3 Mississippi schools hosted in a single year. Ole Miss came up quite literally one spot short. They were the number 17 ranked team so they were one national seed short of being that in that top 16 host seeds. Southern Miss host, however, and throws their number 2. There's all this discussion and debate about Hunter Elliott tonight or not. Taylor Rabe, we've been talking about this. I, hands up, said Taylor Rabe should be the guy that goes Friday night. Mike went with Hunter. Southern Miss went with the number 2. He got knocked around by Little Rock. Then they used their ace 2, who I think had to throw around 60 pitches. Brad, Southern Miss might be a little cooked after having to use the arms they did and it completely backfiring on them.
It did. And once again, Christian Ostrander, I think, is a great coach. But you look at the history of Southern Miss, and, man.
Wow, down goes UCLA.
Yeah.
What?
Southern has I think Southern's won more games than any program over the last 5 years in the country. There's a lot of metrics that support Southern Miss, but my goodness, they lose the super regionals and just today it's they've just lost a lot of opening games and today just really, it just can't happen. And when you play that well and you have an incredible regular season like Southern's had and had a good conference tournament and hit the Grand Slam of the Sun Belt, tournament, that sort of thing, and just to come out and just lay an egg in front of all of your fans. I mean, it's just that's a tough look today. I mean, and I'm pulling for Southern. I really am. That's a tough look today.
Yeah, it's Southern. I mean, I have nothing against Southern. That's just I'm thinking purely from a baseball perspective. I'm not thinking about anything else. I promise you. They might be cooked in this tournament because of how they had to use their pitchers. It's like you went with the number 2.
We have this discussion every year. Do you throw your 1 or 2?
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm getting at. Yeah.
And I give Mike credit. He rarely throws anybody but his number 1. It really doesn't matter who they're facing.
And you know what? I know that the year hasn't been the typical Mike Bianco Hunter Elliott year, but he's been Hunter-ish in May. He's always heated up in May. And after this chaotic day, I don't know about you, Brad, and the rest of y'all in the chat. After this chaotic day, if I had to make the call, and he can make the call up till, when they have first pitch at 8, there's nobody I'd want taking the ball other than Hunter Elliott if I'm Ole Miss.
I agree.
I flipped. You call me like I'm a flip-flopper on it.
I did too. I'm flipping
Hands
too.
up. After the way this went, I'm like, all right, listen, it sounds like the baseball gods are just having a field day up there, right? They're really just wanting chaos. I trust Hunter Elliott then amidst the chaos. It's like Matt, it's like the Odyssey. It's like, Matt Damon fighting against all the elements. I want Hunter Elliott taking the mound. So I have flipped on that completely. I'm like, just give Hunter the ball. Let Hunter have it. I don't care. He hadn't been I don't care. Give him the ball. Let him go out there and stuff in this weird park. You know what I mean? I don't think it's that weird, but it's cavernous, like you said. But it's pretty crazy. Like Missouri State, I'm watching it right now. That's what I keep looking up at. Missouri State right now is up 2-0 on Arkansas in the top of the 4th.
Yeah, as everyone watching at home on YouTube and other streaming services that we have, the stadium is weird. It's almost like a box, like a square, because the power alleys are like 400.
It's the octagon, bro.
Like dead centers, like $3.99 or something, and the corners are like $3.30. So it's a weird part. But I want to talk just briefly about, I was with you. I mean, I felt like Ole Miss has their best chance of winning with Taylor Rabe. I'll own it. That's what I said. And when Mike came out and said it's Hunter Elliott, I thought, okay, I can't really knock it. And then the more I thought about it, the more this is setting up to be the perfect example to throw him. And, it's funny. Someone said in the chat, I think it was Justin, Ole Miss is going to Omaha. I mean, we're early. I mean, we're Friday night and Ole Miss hasn't thrown a pitch. But the first thing that had to happen was Auburn had to lose that first game for Ole Miss to host a Super.
Do you know what this is?
I don't know of any cooler moment. And once again, we could talk like this. We don't coach the team. We're just hanging out. How cool would it be for Ole Miss to get to Omaha through Oxford? Because we've never seen that before.
Don't do this. Do not do this before a pitch.
That's why we're here. It's why we're here at 6 o'clock getting ready for the game. And Jake's hanging out, writing a bunch of stories, and he's posting stuff. The Braves are winning 3-0 over the Reds. Why not? It's Friday night. We're all finished with work for the week. Let's just hang out. Let's be honest. Ole Miss went to Omaha in 14 and 22. It happened in Lafayette. It happened in Hattiesburg. Why can't it happen in Oxford? So,
of course. And that what a long, strange trip it would have been. But my gosh, you're sucking back on that hopium, man. It's that hopium. And listen, hopium. Everybody loves some hopium now. I've had some of these same thoughts about, hey, maybe Ole Miss hosts its first Super Regional since 2009. But I have to ask you, friend, pop the brakes, or maybe you're a little drunk on the supply of hopium here. Because, dude, I mean, Auburn's in trouble, but, let Hunter Elliott – I want to give the ball to Hunter. I'm glad he's giving the ball to Hunter. Kudos to Mike Bianco. I don't think he really had any of today's results in mind. You know what I mean?
Do you think this –
Joseph, I don't think Brad have his fun, damn it. Usually you're the one accused of not letting me have fun, and I'm the one throwing the wet towel on you. You know what? Go for it, man. Drink it all up. Drink it all up. Suck back all what did I just call it? What I call it? Hopium. Suck back all the hopium, friend. Oh, Justin Majors here. Look at here. He says drinking the Kool-Aid. It's gonna happen.
So, Ben, I want to ask you this.
Now is going to host a Super Regional.
I want to ask you this. Is this a situation to where I don't think Mike's doing this, but is this also a little bit of, I don't know, he deserves it? Is that crazy to think that?
No, of course it's not crazy to think that. Also, that's – come on, man. We're past some of that, aren't we? It's a results-oriented business at this point. It's not about legacy and how happy and go lucky and all. It's Mike's a great dude, and as far as I've met him, he's been fine. He's been charitable and equitable and fair to all of us. I have no problem with Mike, but I'm just saying if he left tomorrow, most Ole Miss fans
pronouns, pal. He being
Mike. If Mike left tomorrow and just said, you know what, or I'm out after this postseason run, Ole Miss fans would celebrate it, but they'd be celebrating it in a way of relief because they've been together for a long time. 26 years is a long time, but he isn't owed anything. If anything, Ole Miss is owed the experience of 2000 of the first Super Regional since 2009. Does that make sense?
It does, but I don't agree with that. I don't think Ole Miss fans would be just exuberant that Mike Bianco left. I don't think. I'm just saying,
people,
vocal minority that thinks that he has done a horrible job.
No one thinks he's done a horrible job. Just everyone. It doesn't matter if you're his biggest hater or his biggest lover. Everyone would collectively go, "Oh, okay, it's done then." No one's going to be too high, too low. It just doesn't have that kind of reaction.
I'm liking about that.
I don't have that kind of I don't think that kind of emotional attachment anymore. They've been together a long time. It's been a long marriage. And you know what? Some marriages end in their 30s, as in 30 years. They get to age 67, they look around, they go, man, we've been together a long time. You just want to go hey, we've been on a good run. It's okay that ends up being the break. My point is, I don't think that's happening here. I'm just saying, it's not about Mike. I think Mike would agree with this. It's not about Mike, and he doesn't want it to be about him because it's not. It was about him when it was Tim Elko and them got hot, but Mike Bianco was fired in that 2022 year, Brad. Everyone knew it. He knew it. That's part of the petition to John Cohen to let Ole Miss in as the last team named to the field. And John Cohen said, don't F it up. And to his credit, he didn't. I mean, ask anybody who covers baseball, anybody around the program, they'll tell you, like, Butch Thompson was a candidate. Chase has talked about, I'm talking about Chase over at Rebels 247, Chase Palm. Chase will tell you, like, Eric Bakich, he knows, like, Eric Bakich was there, in that discussion about who the next guy was. Like, they were down the road with that, but they won, and that's awesome. So, like, the Mike Bianco piece of this has been told and done, right? If you return super regional baseball to Oxford, which is popping at the seams now as one of the most fastest growing college athletics towns. I mean, when they finish that entertainment district around Vaught Hemingway Stadium, Brad, it's not going to be millions. It's billions with a B.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Major corporation stuff, right? It's a wins or losses, but like the economy of Oxford needs a super regional. So for everybody, the fans who want to see a super regional at home, the businesses who need to make the money off of the booming local economy that is Oxford, that's the people I will celebrate more than Mike, and I think he would prefer that. Like Ole Miss could celebrate that. What a story that would be, that Ole Miss could celebrate something that we didn't see coming. Who would have ever thought this would be the team that would host a super, the first super since 2009, especially as a 2 seed? A lot would have had to have happened, and crazy things have happened today. But Ole Miss hasn't thrown a pitch or swung a bat.
I know that. Yeah, I know. I know there's a lot of water to slide under the bridge. Somebody asked in the chat a little bit ago, what about Arizona State? I will say this. It was early, but one thing that jumped out to me about Arizona State, their RPI is hovering around 40. I think they had like 19 conference wins in the Big 12.
Yeah.
But one thing I will point out, they split with Oklahoma back in February, late February. They lost to Mississippi State out in Arlington. They lost to Tennessee in Arlington, and they lost to Texas A&M. So their record against the SEC has not been just fantastic. Now,
hey, real quick as you go through that, because I want to make sure I'm right. They haven't hosted a super since 2009, correct?
I think so. I think that's right, but I may be wrong, man.
Well, that's why I'm saying I thought you might. I'll look it up. You keep going.
I can't verify that because
I'll verify it right here now. Give me a second.
But also I want to go through some of these other series that Arizona State has faced against the University of Arizona, a team that Ole Miss is familiar with during that 22 run. Of course, they win 2 out of 3 at Arizona against West Virginia.
2009.
Okay, very good. Against West Virginia, they lost 2 out of 3. That was in Tempe. Just kind of running through some of their schedules so everybody can kind of know who they played. Baylor, they swept Baylor. That was a good sweep. They won 2 out of 3 over UCF. Against Oklahoma State, they lost 2 out of 3. Houston, they won 2 out of 3. And then you jump over to the Big 12 tournament. They beat Cincinnati, who's in a regional play over in Starkville. I think they're probably playing now. It's Mississippi State won big today over whoever they were playing. But Cincinnati, they beat Cincinnati 10-2 and lost to West Virginia in the conference tournament 7-3. So that's kind of Arizona State. Like I said, they're going to throw the guy that we talked about, the left-handed pitcher. I've lost my spot on my pictures here. I will talk briefly about at the plate Hunter Elliott's going to have to deal with. There's a couple of guys that are really seeing it well for Arizona State. David Greer, batting .344, has 8 home runs in the year. And then Andrew Shaps, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. Give me a second. Live radio, ladies and gentlemen.
Again, what I was talking about in regards to Mike has nothing to do with, like, I don't think it's a discussion. He's not going anywhere.
Yep. Real quick, Landon Hairston. I apologize. I thought I knew it was the wrong one. 413. He's really good. Is swinging it really well. 28 home runs and 79 RBIs. He can swing it. Nutu Contreras.
Very good offensive team. I mean, like, legitimately.
Dominic Smaldino, 332. Dean Tiogo, 319, and Austin Rolling, 310. So they can swing it. Their home run hitters is Contreras with 17, Smaldino with 16, and Tiogo with 17 home runs. So they can swing it. But once again, the competition piece is just not where it is with Ole Miss. So that's, we'll see. But Hunter's got his work cut out for him without question with Hairston, Contreras, and Smaldino.
There's nobody I would give the ball to, would want to give the ball to. It's just funny how the day plays out. In hindsight, it's 2020, and we have all this new information. They're right now preparing themselves. Like they're in BP, right? They're taking infield right now out at Lincoln, Nebraska, at this weird park. What's it called again?
It's Homemaker Field, but it's Haymaker.
Like throwing a Haymaker.
Haymarket Park.
Oh darn, Haymaker was way cooler. Is it a market of hay?
I don't know. I've only been to Nebraska once, and it turned out really well.
Been twice. It didn't work out so well in 2014 and 2022. That's where Emily and I celebrated our 12th wedding anniversary. And that's where I got this. And I'm not ashamed of it. Look at there. Here it is. And this is what you got everybody dreaming about right here. This freaking title. Another one.
I got to grab my hat. Hold on one second.
The second one in program friggin' history. You got people all worked up for it. All because Auburn lost. I mean, Nebraska's won or is winning. Oh, dang. Missouri State's now down up 3-0. But now you got everybody thinking a title's coming their way. And they haven't thrown a pitch. They haven't swung a bat. Haven't fielded a ball. But you know what? You're kind of convincing me a little bit. And that's why you're good for me, man.
Look,
here on Talking Champions with Brad and Ben.
You might as well drink it out of the big jug. So I'm all here for it.
Oh, God. 3-0 now, Missouri State over Arkansas. When's Jake joining us, by the way? Let's go to commercial break. 6:30?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So in a few minutes, we'll be joined by Jake, who is live from Haymaker. Is way cooler than Haymarket. What a letdown. Well, he'll be joining us live from Haymarket Park in Lincoln, Nebraska here shortly. Let's hear from our sponsors. This is Talk of Champions.
Homes and businesses from the whims of nature. You need more than just quality materials. You require Riverland Roofing. Licensed, insured, and certified, Riverland Roofing offers not only the assurance of excellence, but a tailored approach to your needs and budget. To learn more about what Riverland Roofing can do for you and the community, call them at 662-644-4297 or visit riverlandroofing.com.
Hey, Rebels, your truck is here. Allen Samuels Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Oxford presents the all-new Ram Rebel. It's Ram, the Rebel way. Send an unmistakable signal. Rebel 24/7. Ram Rebel from your friend in the car business. Allen Samuels Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Oxford.
Come by, let's be friends. I'm Warrior Philip Hearn. Raising my family here in Mississippi, I've tried to teach my kids to help others. I learned that from my parents. And as a Mississippi lawyer, I want to help you too. If you're hurt in a traffic accident, 18-wheeler wreck, or have insurance trouble, call 601-720-3541. That's my cell. You call, I'll answer. Let's get started. Make your first call to the Hearn Law Firm today.
Start my weekend.
Own your day on the Network for Connected Living. There's more to see. C-Spire. Customer inspired.
This is Talk of Champions. I'm Ben Garrett. He's Brad Logan. This QR code right above my head is for the Ole Miss Spirit, omspirit.com, an affiliate of On3. Sign up today for $1 to try us out for 5 days before it switches to an annual sub. I can't take my eyes off of college baseball. What an absolutely insane day it's been so far. 3s over 2s. Number 3 seed Liberty over Boston College. Number 3 seed Kentucky over Wake Forest, East Carolina over Tennessee. We haven't even talked about the Vols going down. USC Upstate over Oklahoma State, Little Rock over Southern Miss, Milwaukee over Auburn. I say the biggest shocker on this edition of Talk of Champions, powered as always by our friends at Riverland Roofing, 662-644-4297, riverlandroofing.com. We're thankful for the Hearn Law Firm, all of you who sponsor us, including Alan Samuels Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Oxford, who just sold my wife, who's buzzed in 2 times now, a new Wagoneer, a 2022 Wagoneer last week. It's lower than our last payment, I guess, so that's a great thing. But look at all the crazy things that have happened. Southern Miss, I said, was shocking. You said Auburn was most shocking. But, again, Tennessee, title winners not too long ago, dude, and they've already gone down in their regional too. But I think the worst shape one is Southern Miss.
I agree. I think that's right. And, Missouri State beating Arkansas on the bottom of the fourth, 3-0. You look across the way, Tarleton State beating Santa Barbara right now, 3-1. Alabama just tipped off against Alabama State. They're winning 1-0 there. No score in Louisiana and Cincinnati and Starkville. I think it's raining pretty heavy there. Speaking of rain, the tarp's out in Lincoln. But Jake said he does not. If you remember the board, you would see that Jake has pointed out that they do not anticipate it. A later start than 8 o'clock. So that should be a pretty quick sell. Kentucky beat Wake Forest 6-5. East Carolina, boy, that was a tough one. Tied going into the ninth, and then East Carolina scores 4 and wins 7-3. So a big win for Cliff Godwin, who many Ole Miss fans are very familiar with. Liberty beats Boston College 4-3. Auburn falls to Milwaukee, not the Brewers, but the University of Milwaukee. Texas all over Holy Cross 19-1. Florida squeaks by Rider 8-7. Southern Miss, of course, falls to Little Rock 7-4. Kansas over Northwestern 6-3. Mississippi State, the Bulldogs roll over Lipscomb 10-1. SC Upstate over Oklahoma State 8-5, and we've talked about that being Oklahoma State. They beat Arizona State, just like we talked about a moment ago, 2 out of 3. So that's something to kind of monitor. St. Mary's beat number 1 overall seed UCLA 3-2. Washington State beats Oregon State in the Eugene Regional 3-2. A&M come back and beats Lamar. I think Lamar was up 5-0 over Texas A&M, but the Aggies come back and win 7-5. And Nebraska beat South Dakota State. That one was tight early, but Nebraska scored a couple, and they won that game 4-1.
Well, now Arkansas's battled back to 3-1 at least, with 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth. Tony Vitello is not returning to college baseball anytime soon, but Tennessee's struggling after him, and Missouri's head coach sticking around. You know what I mean? Knowing that he's from there too. I mean, there are going to be a lot of programs that are going to be after him in college baseball. I mean, this is a crazy day, and the first thing I saw with the Tennessee result is oh gosh, here comes the Tony Vitello public or Twitter online social media discourse. You know what I mean? Yeah. I could just hear it already forming beyond the tide. There's Jakey. Jake is coming to us live from not Haymaker, Haymarket Park. How is it there in Lincoln, Nebraska, Jakey?
It was good till about 10 minutes ago, and then the bottom fell out, and we're sitting here watching a tarp get soaked with rain, but the clock still says 8 o'clock on the screen for first pitch, so they haven't pushed that back yet.
Yeah, I looked at the weather map, and it looks like this may be a pretty quick moving sale. So hopefully we're still first pitch 8 o'clock. Jake, what are your thoughts?
Listen to Weatherman Brad, dude.
My mom wanted me to be a weatherman. But anyway.
God, he would have been so good at that, Jake. Like Jake would have been a great high school math teacher, while Brad would be, you have to look. And then Brad would have been math. Just really? So did I. Accountancy too at Ole Miss. Failing that led to me becoming a broadcast journalist. To all y'all's great enjoyment. How about that?
Jake,
shout out to Ole Miss.
Jake, what do you make of the craziness in college baseball today? I anticipated some upsets. Nothing like that I thought we would see today.
Yeah, I didn't expect Auburn to go up or go down 10-0 by the time I got back to the hotel from lunch. I wasn't expecting that one. And because I also was anticipating them to have the offense to overcome a Milwaukee pitching staff, which they scored 8 runs, but I thought they would get that one. So I was shocked with that one, but I can't say that I'm shocked about the result in Hattiesburg, because Ole Miss, we have seen Little Rock plenty of times, and them be a pesky, feisty little midweek team that gives you problems. And but I will say, out of that game, I am more shocked at Ostrander opting to throw his second guy, and then instead of going to somebody else, go with his ace and let his ace throw 58 pitches and give up 5 runs. That spells trouble for a team that now, like Auburn, you got to go 4-0. You can't lose the rest of the weekend. So it's been interesting, some interesting results. I think of the one seeds who have lost, I think UCLA probably has the best regional to go 4-0. I don't expect them to get eliminated, but they'll have to play a little bit longer. So it's been interesting, been exciting. If you're Ole Miss, you hope that all that's done and taken care of itself. But if Arizona State beats them, this has been such a matchup that's been talked about for today's first day of slate of games that I don't know if you could call it an upset if Arizona State beats them. So I think this is the closest of those matchups.
Jake, hold on. Take your computer and turn around and show me the rain. Show me the rain, Jakey.
If I give people vertigo, I apologize.
Show me the rain. Oh, dude. What did you call that, Brad? You said it's a sail? Is that what he said?
It's a quick moving sail coming down from Omaha across Lincoln, hoping to be out by the 8 o'clock first pitch. Look, they're going to have to do a little work to that field. I mean, I don't know that they can get it out by 8. I mean, that's pretty quick. But any event. Well, Jake, what did you make of UCLA, the number 1 seed, losing?
They haven't really been tested. I mean, I think a lot of people have said that about the Big Ten. Now, obviously, Oregon gave them all they could, and that championship game last Sunday, which propelled Oregon up the seedings a little bit. But 3-2 is not a blowout. It's just it's a baseball game. I know people hate that phrase, but it is true about this sport. So I expect the Bruins to probably play very angry whatever time they play now tomorrow, and like I said, get out of that regional. Going 4-0 for them against those 3 teams is probably not a big worry for them.
The lineup, we'll get to Hunter Elliott in a moment, but obviously there was a change at the bottom there. Can you kind of walk the people through that we're looking at the lineup here? Not a lot of changes across the top in the middle with Decker, Unimark, Furness, Pacetta, Federico, Reuter, Fawley, and Pano, but Sermons in the 9th position there. Did that surprise you very much when the lineup was announced?
He hasn't started since, I think I had to look it up, the March 27th game against State. He's played since then, but that's his last start. So obviously starting the game, it's been 2 months, 2 months, 2 days. So, interested, but, left field's been a revolving, rotating door. Draw a name out of a hat, pick a name, any name. And I'm sure, a lefty starting for Arizona State has something to do with that. The matchups, Mike loves the matchups. So I think all that comes into effect. Now, will you see Tate the whole game? Probably not. Even if they're winning big or especially they're losing big, they'll switch it out, I'm sure. And if they knock Arizona State's guy out, I'm sure they'll switch it depending on if the guy's a righty or lefty. So that the left field is just going to be a revolving door until this season ends, whether it's this weekend, next weekend, or in 2 weeks from now.
There's been a lot of players that you would hope would be the hero for Ole Miss. One of those players, obviously, is Hunter Elliott getting the ball tonight. I know we talked with Mike on Monday, and did it surprise you at all that Hunter's getting the ball tonight, maybe over Taylor Rabe?
I know everybody thought they would go with Rabe, but, Hunter's been the Friday guy, and Mike's, loves Hunter, and then he's going to go with this guy, and that's what he said when I asked him who was starting yesterday, and then followed up with why, and that was his answer: is go with the guy that's been there on Friday. And he said we looked at the matchups, the numbers, and we said that we being them, saying that they liked going with Hunter because of what they saw. So I think I've been told that Arizona State struggles at times with the lefty. They've got a few guys that are good hitters. Now, obviously, their leadoff guy Hairston is good against whoever you throw out there on the mound. He's their superstar. But, I think if you can sit there and think about it, if you can get through this one, get the win, you're set up with Rabe tomorrow in the winner's game against Nebraska. And then you have Cade on Sunday night or whatever time that game is Sunday if you get through Nebraska tomorrow. So you still have good options behind them. Now, who goes when if they lose tonight? I could see them going Cade tomorrow if they lose against a San Diego State team or South Dakota State team. That only managed to run against Nebraska. And I think Cade's as good as an arm is what Nebraska put out there and what else they put out there. So from that regard, I see it that way. But if they win, you've got two good options. But I think you go with Rave if they win. Now, saying that, it could be totally opposite, but that's how I view it right now before this game is played tonight.
Ole Miss has had a lot of, I don't want to say heroes throughout the season, but one particular player that's, kind of struggled but kind of come on late is Tristan Macetta. And, we obviously saw he had the big home run against Texas, as you see on the screen here. Kind of been up and down. But for you, who are some players that need to have some big postseasons for Ole Miss, and who needs to kind of step up? And it could be someone that could be a hero for Ole Miss this postseason.
I think you need Becerra to find whatever he had in April and then lost in May, or really lost, I guess, to Tennessee, that series of Tennessee, to be in the power bat. You need him to come back. You need whatever Reuter and Foley have kind of found at times, getting hits, being productive at the bottom lineup. You need them to come through consistently. And then on the mound, I think you need your bullpen to back up Hooks and Calhoun, because it can't just be those five. You can't, because you're not going to have, all of the three starters available all the time either. I mean, once they come out for the weekend, depending on how many they throw. So I think the bullpen's got to come together and pitch, the best that they have. And I think it helps when there's no more midweeks. It's just, for sure, it's just 2 games. If you win today, you get 2 more games. And there's, that's it. It's just this weekend. So I think that helps kind of put the tunnel vision on for the pitching staff. And, I'm sure Joel's got to prepare. They pitched well last year, in the regional, except for Murray State. I mean, Murray State just kind of had their number. So I think that's it. You need the power bats of Becerra, Foley, and Reuter to find it, and Reuter and Foley to keep doing what they were doing a couple weeks ago at Tuscaloosa, and the bullpen to rally around their 2 top guys and, Calhoun and Hooks.
Is this the best lineup, in your opinion, offensively for Ole Miss, or do you think this could be an opportunity for maybe to utilize some other players, specifically in that DH role and in left field?
I mean, I know people would probably like to know what's happened to Braden Randall, but I think tonight it's a matchup thing with Reuter. So if you see a righty, you'll probably see Randall. But obviously left field is just going to revolve. We saw Casella, we've seen Topher Jones, we've seen Sermons. So I think it's as good as it can be with the spots that never change. But DH and left field are probably going to interchange throughout the rest of this weekend.
What are you kind of looking for in this first game? We said I've talked to you about it. I've talked to Ben and any other show that I've been on. It's so important to get to 2-0. What does Ole Miss have to do tonight to beat an Arizona State team that, Jake, I know but we talked earlier in the broadcast about how they've really struggled against SEC teams. That was early in the year, and I'm sure they've improved since then. But I think it's kind of different. The Big 12 is much different than the SEC. What do the Rebels need to do tonight?
Well, for starters, they've got to figure out a way to hit Cole Carlin's slider and off-speed stuff, which we know that's their kryptonite, this Ole Miss lineup. If they're not fastballs or meatballs right down the middle, they have struggled to hit them successfully. So that's an issue. And then striking out. On top of that, Cole also has like 124 strikeouts, and that's something this lineup is very good at. Unfortunately, they're one of the worst in Division I, I believe, 305 or something out of however many are after them. So that's the 2 issues for them to have to get around and try to get walks. And if they're only going to get home runs, they've got to have guys on base. They got to hit crooked numbers. They can't just be solo home runs and then not score for 5 innings like they did at Hoover, and they did kind of that 3rd game at Tuscaloosa. They came out swinging and couldn't score after that. So those are all kind of the keys. So they got to find a way to battle Carlin. I want to say Cologne, but Carlin, and try to get him out of the game whenever you can and make him work. They can't be that team that has the 5-second at bats, first swing and first pitch, and not working the guy's pitch count. And that you got to get this guy up there in the pitch count and have success and find a way to hit those pitches they've struggled at.
Have you had an opportunity, as we let you get back to work here in the press box, Jake Thompson joining us from Hay Market. Ben's got me thinking it's Haymaker Park, and it's not. It's Hay
Just
Market.
say Hawks Field. That's the first
Hawks Field, yeah. And we'll let you get back to work. But, we'd love to know, have you found a good meal there in Lincoln, Nebraska? Then do you
I've eaten a couple good places. I ate at Laszlo's Brewery last night with our good friend Sam from McCoy Ledger. He had celebrated my birthday dinner with me.
Happy birthday!
Thank you. 40 looks a little better on me than I thought it would. But and then
Hey,
where
no,
else
put
did I
me
eat?
back on the thing and let me tell my friend happy birthday. I had to sit there and listen, and I tried not to say
He's
anything.
trying to talk about his food, Ben. I mean,
I don't care about his food. Happy birthday.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. I should have texted you, but that felt impersonal. This felt more personal. I just sat
appreciate
there
it.
and listened to y'all go on and on about the game while he still won't show me the dang rain. Turn your computer
It
around
showed
one
you
more
the
time.
rain.
I want to see it again. Dang, we're not starting on time here.
No, we're not. Sorry.
This is better than it was before I hopped on. So it's at least moving through, as Brad told us.
The
So
cell.
like he tries to sail right past, because Brad's like, well, what do you think about the Benji matchup? And then Jake's like, oh, and the sliders.
Oh
and
my
the thing,
gosh,
and the
that's
thing.
I mean,
But like
Anyway.
you sailed past. What? How old are you now? 40, right?
I am.
He's 40, dude. Like this is the big 4-0.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
I can confirm from my source downtown that it is no longer raining about 5 minutes away from here. So it's moving through. I had an inside person text me that. So
No, if anything, Mary Rawdon in the I hope I said your last name right. I probably said it wrong. In the chat has been the Regina George of the show to get today. No, Lane Kiffin might be the Regina George. Trademark that. But trademark that because I didn't get anything off the other stuff. So hey, if he is the Regina George of SEC head coaches, which I've claimed that he is, I'm not being that today. I'm being more like the Gretchen who is trying to hype Jake up because he's turned the big 4-0. So what did you do, if anything, big for your 40th birthday?
I went and saw Mandalorian and Grogu. That is what I did for my 40th birthday. There's a movie theater directly across the street. It was good.
All right.
And it's fun. It's fun. Don't let the critics and all that stuff scare you away. It's fun 2-hour movie.
Did you go see He-Man, or will you see He-Man?
It's not out yet. I will see it when it comes out.
Yes. Masters of the Universe.
I did take a little tour around Nebraska's campus, their football stadium, and all the plethora of Tom Osborne statues they have over there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
In case y'all didn't know, they want you to know he was a very good coach here.
What did you think about the stadium?
Yeah.
I can see it from here. Hold on. Get ready, Ben.
Yes. Show it again. Hey, friends. Look at it. Where is it?
There it is.
Out there in the outfield.
See right there is the
yeah.
And,
so like
it's nice.
It's not just all corn. I'm sorry.
No. We will have to tell Keith Carter they've got to up their museum game in the Ole Miss Athletic Building. Nebraska's is very impressive.
Yeah, it's something they've got to do at Ole Miss.
Dude, that's a moneymaker. If you, and like at Ole Miss now, if it's not bolted to the floors, buddy, they selling it, right? So like sell it all, and I think like a awesome museum, especially if they're going to build that entertainment district, dude. Like have a walk of all that stuff, a lot of Manning shit. Definitely like if you're going to Universal and you want to go like Minions Land, make sure there's a Manning Land. You know what I mean? Just make sure Manning's that your bar is better than the one in New Orleans. Because Brad and I, buddy, that was stuff. But happy birthday. Happy birthday. You're welcome.
Got to get back on track. Okay. All right. Jake, back to the food scene. What have you enjoyed about Lincoln so far? You were talking about that meal you had.
Go back.
Had a chicken wrap, buffalo chicken wrap, and that's about all I've eaten.
Okay.
Outside of maybe some.
Is there anything specific on the scene in Lincoln that people tell you have to see?
Not see, I guess downtown. What I saw yesterday at the stadium and everything is probably the centerpiece in terms of stuff to see. But it's a nice downtown. But the one thing I love about it is they have all these old buildings that they've renovated into hotels or other stuff, and they keep their old buildings. They don't tear them down, and so it's like you're walking through about 3 different eras of time in downtown Lincoln. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, when Ole Miss played in Omaha in 22, I couldn't get a hotel in Omaha, so I stayed in Lincoln. And there's a spot I think it's the southeastern side of the stadium, football stadium. You can actually use a gate and walk in. You can't enter you can enter the stadium, but they've got it blocked off to where it's locked. But you can at least get inside and look around. So if you're bored and you want to try that out, it was really cool.
They have updated the screen. It says now Game 2 has been delayed. It's no longer 8 o'clock. So there's just some breaking news. It looks like it will not start in an hour and 15 minutes.
And it live and on the scene from Lincoln, Nebraska. Let's go to him. It's Jake Thompson in the field. Jake, with some breaking news. Jake?
Baseball will not be happening at 8 o'clock, it appears.
Oh, tough news. Tough news for Ole Miss fans.
Love these football kickoffs for a baseball game.
Yeah, it's fun. Shut up. You're 40, but like you don't get to start being crotchety just because you're 40. All right.
Well,
I turned 40
I've been crotchety
in August.
already.
Oh, no shit. God is good and you're
Hey, did you
crotchety.
stop at, Jay, did you stop at Buc-ee's?
I
Yeah,
did.
you did.
There was
Of
happened
course
to be
you
one in
did.
Springfield. So
What's
which I
your
didn't know.
Buc-ee's go-to?
Oh, it's not that exciting. Just get some either the chicken sandwich or the brisket sandwich.
Yes.
And some trail mix and
I
dark
don't get
chocolate
it.
almonds.
I don't get the Buc-ee's thing. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
Have you been in it?
Yes, multiple times. My kids bemoan the fact that we don't stop there every single trip that we pass one. I don't get it. Now, the toilets are immaculate.
Yes.
Based on that alone, I would wait in traffic. All right. However, I don't care to take a picture with the Bucky Beaver. I
I
don't
do that every
want any of the
time.
merch. My daughter's got a freaking beaver. Yeah, of course she does. My daughter has a beaver onesie, for Christ's sake. God is good and Bucky's is overrated, is all I'm saying. Outside of the toilets, they're
It's not
immaculate.
I'm with
overrated.
Jake on this. I enjoy it. The kids like it. I mean, you got the beaver nuggets that you can get. They're delicious. There's just so many things. The brisket sandwich is great. The turkey sandwich is good. The potato chips. All right. Well, I just had to get my Jake travel update.
I'll try to make the rain stop up here for you.
Oh, we're delayed now. See you, buddy. That's Jake
Thanks, Jake.
Thompson, live from Haymarket Field,
There you go.
where it's rained. It's in a rain delay. You're right, Mary. All the time, God is good. I love ribbing my friend Jake, and now that he's 40, what else can he get? What else can we do but rib our friend Jake, who is live from Lincoln, Nebraska for the Ole Miss Spirit? We'll have full coverage at the Ole Miss Spirit, OleMissSpirit.com, an affiliate of On3. Sign up today for $1. That QR code above my friend Brad's head. Brad, I wanted to touch on one thing before we get out of here. It's not baseball. We did the whole baseball thing. We've covered it as much as we possibly can. You posted this on the Ole Miss Spirit message board, and I've got to remove stuff because you've gotten all up in my stuff. What?
You're ripping
what?
my
Oh.
production skills again.
It's true. It's true. We haven't talked about this.
Play
This
the
is a
entire-
dude from Clemson. All right,
Yeah.
the whole clip. This is a Clemson. I don't know what the Roar FM is. This dude looks and reminds me of me outside. Like the only thing is he can grow a beard and I cannot. But I've felt this energy
radio
before.
station in Clemson. It's a sports talk station, and I think he works for the university.
Oh,
Like in
even
some
more.
capacity. The radio
Even
network.
more interesting. Okay, so he's talking about when Pete addressed the media in Destin for the SEC meetings. He finally talked about the Dabo tampering stuff and Dabo going very public with all of his tampering claims in an explosive press conference that got all these salacious headlines. And Pete finally addressed it with a group of people. He's addressed it before in a press conference setting at Ole Miss, but in front of like national media in a bigger setting like that. And essentially, he didn't say those exact words like, I'll expose it all. That was the way the story was framed by Matt Hayes. That's what's kind of funny about the response from this Clemson guy. I don't know about you, Brad.
This is William Qualkenbush.
Okay.
He works for 105.5 The Roar, play-by-play for Clemson Network. And this is William. He's got thoughts on Pete Golding for sure.
Okay, he's got thoughts on Pete Golding.
Yeah.
Here we go. Let's just play it. That's the whole build up to it. I didn't get all of it, but listen to this guy. He's very upset.
For authority or access to knowledge, telling me they could blow the roof off. We're going to blow it up. We're going to read the names. We're going to read the list. We're going to show the evidence. As long as you give more money, and don't make me do it right now, I could bring this whole thing to the ground. You know what we should do? And I'm on a mission to do this, Ben. If
I'm Ben.
Anybody that I have a chance to ever vote for political office says, I could blow the roof off, insert scandal, and doesn't do it ever, I'm not voting for him.
That's already
I'm
happened.
tired of this. I'm tired of politicians telling me I've got the names and I'm going to read them. Pete Golding just said, if you come after me, I'll just blow the roof off. As if we don't want that. You know what that makes me do? That's like, well, then just read them.
God, it's loud.
We're crushing you, fella. You're getting destroyed. Tell me who all has a story. The front page story is what Pete Golding said about Dabo and Luke Ferrelli. How many websites?
Every major news outlet. Every single one. If Pete had a problem with what he says LSU did to him, why didn't he just turn him in?
Just do it. We know you did wrong. There's no sense in hiding behind it. Oh, man, if you come after me, we're already coming after you, pal.
Who?
What does that even mean? I could blow the roof off this. Then do it. We're begging you.
Okay. Ooh, he was mad. What was his name?
His name was William Qualkenbush, sports
Okay.
radio personality on 100.5 The Roar. Yeah, play-by-play announcer for Clemson Network.
Man, I have felt the pain and the passion and the energy that, like, he reminds me of me. He really does, except he can grow a beard and I can't. We're ginger. We're very over the top. We can be a little, performative and certainly loud and obnoxious, but he's missing the point completely. First of all, Pete never said those words himself. That's how the story was framed by Matt Hayes. I mean, if you read the article itself, this is more of a discussion, if you're trying to make a specific point about that, of how media frames things, of which every one of us is guilty of, including me. But Pete didn't say those words. He didn't say that. Now, the reason Matt framed it is because maybe in talking to Pete off the record or whoever, that's how they said that's what it is. That's how we take the whole thing down. Well, Pete didn't say it, but the sentiment is this. Ole Miss, first of all, doesn't turn in a LSU for pick your guy. Kejuan Lacey, Trinidad Chambliss, Deuce Alexander, Caleb Cunningham, Emmanuel Faulkner. I could go on and on because it's just what the system is. Everyone accepts it. You're just the one that decided to call foul. It's like everybody's playing a game of pickup basketball. There are rules that everybody follows. Sometimes people can get a little too physical and some things can happen. You're the one, but no one calls a foul. Only the wimp of the group calls a foul. Now you could say, well, they should not be able to get away with that. I agree. Everyone agrees. Ole Miss agrees that Devin Harper shouldn't be able to re-sign with Ole Miss and then end up at LSU anyway, as well as Prince Willie Monmielen for $1.4 million, even though he's signed a contract, they thought. The same stuff that y'all are throwing your hands up in regards to for Luke Ferrelli and Clemson. Save that energy for all of that stuff, too. We'll produce the receipts. Why? For more what? No one's solving the issue. The NCAA is more focused on something like tampering, which has a precedent, which at worst, in the worst case, was a one-game suspension for Kirk Ferentz in 2024. They would rather focus on that than what the sport is dying about, which is any type of regulatory anything. Instead of this unfettered, completely on the side of the player, the workforce, whatever you want to call them, labor, anything you want to call them, they need to be called labor. I actually saw it. It was reported in these same national headlines that we get fed every single day. Like we get it in our eyeballs constantly. First of all, this Clemson man, this Ben with a beard, Pete didn't say that. He didn't. But of course he has receipts. Of course he does. I mean, you have receipts. You do. What are you talking about? That video that circulated on social media was evidence enough of Lane talking about Kejuan was following him to LSU. That was enough. And y'all just went, well, that's just something they're just having fun. Blah, blah. What are you talking about? That's admitting on tape. But it doesn't matter because we've all been conditioned to not be shocked by anything at all. It's a completely, we are completely attuned to not give a shit. It doesn't shock us when people's heads get cut off. I went and saw Mortal Kombat and there's some crazy stuff that happened in that. And it doesn't even faze you. We've lost the capacity to be shocked. There are no smoking guns and scandals. How many scandals have had a smoking gun and nothing happens? That's what Ole Miss is saying nothing ever happens because y'all don't want to focus on what has to happen or the sport dies, which is regulated. And somebody said it in a national headline recently, like I think this week and a couple of days ago. And it was like some AD or whatever high-ranking official. They're making these decisions in these back rooms. And he finally said the quiet part or the most obvious, where this needs to go and where it's always headed if it wants to survive, where it's going to be. He goes, maybe collective bargaining is the way. No shit. That's where it's always supposed to have been. This all goes back to trying to call the players anything but labor. They don't want them to be collectively bargaining. But like Pete Golding said, which y'all would rather not quote because it really, therein lies the truth of it. They're out at the country club living with him. Pete Golding's neighbors are the players in which he is led to lead, or he's been entrusted to lead this multi-million-dollar team and company. Give me a break. Y'all are focused on tampering. Everyone is tampering. And yes, Ole Miss says, and well, like Pete said it right. I'm not saying I did anything. I did this. I did that. I don't know. Because what are the rules? There aren't any. There aren't any. What are we holding them? What are we holding Ole Miss to? What is the precedent other than 2024 Iowa with Kirk Ferentz? Okay, well, Pete then gets suspended for Charlotte or whoever is their cupcake on the schedule, right? Otherwise, see you in court because that's selective enforcement. And as the NCAA getting his butt whipped in court time and time again over the last year, specifically over selective enforcement, Ole Miss will win. And if anything, Ole Miss will just keep going as normal. Everyone will have to operate as normal because a judge will say, well, I'm going to hold it as it's adjudicated, and it'll take months. And by that point, no one will care because we've lost the capacity to care. Nothing shocks us. Zero. Right? So, like, this guy, Clemson Ben here, we want to show, like, give it to us, show us, whatever. Dude, that's, look around you. It's all out in the open. It's all been, but like we just accept it. What are you going to do? Unless you just accept it for what it is. We don't, like,
my thing
Williams,
is,
right. Look at Williams. Williams got it. We don't blink at anything, or as he put it, S-H-I-T. I say it all the time anymore, but I'm trying to be better because God said, Ben, stop cussing, and I can't stop. Because this stuff is so silly, dude. It's so silly. Like, there's no, like, I would love to see it too. I would love for everyone to show everything for everybody and everybody be treated the same. I agree. But what's the point? Like, Pete has nothing against even Lane and LSU, and Lane drives him crazy. Like Dabo, he just thinks like, you're weak, bro. Mary, yeah, pull up. He's like, okay, you're just weak. Well, I'm going to tell on you. Okay. To who? Who's going to get on to anybody? What are the rules? Because here's the facts of the matter. Luke Ferrelli signed financial grant and aid papers. Those are non-binding. Ole Miss got hit with it. Non-binding financial grant and aid papers with the USM transfer linebacker, Chris Jones. Like, he was signed and done. He was coming to Ole Miss. But did Pete hold a press conference and say, and this would have been one of their leading tacklers. Imagine him. They maybe wouldn't have gone to Luke Ferrelli if they hadn't been tampered with, because they'd already gotten Keaton Thomas, but Chris Jones was the second linebacker. That was a layup from Southern Miss, in-state kid. He goes to Florida State, and everybody knows why, but Ole Miss didn't go, like, Pete didn't get behind a microphone and go, you know what, right? Florida State, they're just cheaters, right? I mean, they're cheating more than anybody's ever cheated and never cheated to cheat, right? No, what happened? He went and got another linebacker because them's the breaks, man. There is no regulatory body. There's no nothing. And that's what drives me crazy about the whole discussion. It drives me insane. We can't even agree who the adults in the room are. Well, it's Congress. No, we want them to be an independent governing, and they're doing it themselves. Well, the SEC, we'll go it alone. Maybe we'll team up with the Big Ten. Who are the adults in the room? So at least make it do collective bargaining so it at least is fair and equitable. They're represented, Ole Miss is represented, to where Ole Miss doesn't lose Devin Harper and Prince Willie Monmielen. Pete, did you listen to those words, Clemson Ben? Did you listen to Pete say mention by name TJ Daugherty? That, like, he is very intentional with what he says publicly. When he gets off the cuff, that's where he goes sideways. He knows what to say publicly. It was intentional to say and mention TJ Daugherty specifically. Them's the break. Those are the negotiations, because the negotiations have no protections for any school, including Clemson, including Ole Miss, LSU. Everyone agrees what the problem is, but no one can agree on who the adults in the room are or how to fix it. And that's why Kurt Signetti can come out and say today, yeah, I think the sport, if it keeps going like this, is going to die. And that's the dude who just won a national championship for Indiana, the first ever a basketball school. The on-the-field product, Brad, is insanely awesome, fun, and different. And everybody has a seat at the table. But because no one knows who the adults in the room are, we're all left to be miserable the rest of the time when the teams aren't playing. Because no one knows. And that's the point. That's the point. And also, don't be a snitch.
I think a couple of things I want to touch on. Number one, I'm not so sure that Ole Miss, and I've said this earlier, and I stand by this. If the NCAA comes out and says, we have found that Ole Miss is culpable in insert rule here, and they try to suspend Pete Golding, I don't care what game it is. I'm not so sure Ole Miss allows that to happen. I think they're going to fight it, and I think they're going to fight anything other than a monetary fine. I don't think Ole Miss is going to accept anything from the NCAA in regards to this, because they do not want to go down this road. And I understand what William was saying from Clemson Radio, but Ole Miss has a lot of receipts, and it's going to be a very, very ugly, situation. And I've seen other people from other media that cover up with other programs. Quite frankly, those programs aren't being mentioned in any of this. So they're ready for all of the skeletons to come out of the closet, because they don't have any. They're losing. So I get that. I understand that. I think, and I just sent you a link, I think Pete Golding handled everything really, really well in Destin. I think he was asked a lot of pointed questions. And honestly, I think he was honest with his answers. And my whole point is this. Dabo is at the end of his rope. And when you start throwing daggers at other programs and other coaches, that means your back's in the corner. And if he thinks he can sit on his, his high chair on top of everybody else, and I got news for him. He better be very careful, because what goes for one may not go for the other. Here's Pete Golding in the SEC spring meetings in Destin.
Basketball has been a subject too. It's a hard thing to do. Have you ever tried it? No, I haven't. But no, obviously from an academic standpoint, I don't have to sit up here about, what Ole Miss does and all that. I don't think anybody has to defend that. So I think that was a little out of context. Obviously, Sark hit me right after that happened. It was a month prior. I think the timing of it, kind of piggybacked, the other one or whatever like that. But no, I'm not worried about any of that. Did you talk to Steve about it? Yeah. I mean, he hit me as soon as it went public. Look, this was a month ago. No point intended. We all heard the basket weaving deal growing up and all that type of stuff. So he said he was just trying to talk about Texas and how hard it was and all that type of stuff. So I told him I appreciate it. I said, I know if I'm a transfer, I'd much rather take basket weaving than biology. So I appreciate your help and your support. So yeah. No.
Did Lane hit you up after the Vandy Fair stuff the way Sark did?
Lane hits me up every day. So I get 12 text messages a day from Lane. It's just, what do I decide to look at is what, so I was not looking at that one, but no, we're good.
Are you so excited for that game? I mean, we're all excited.
And that was Pete Golding. I thought he answered it really well.
By not saying anything at all, that's what you'd say, because there's nothing to say. There's nothing unless the adults are acknowledging that stand up and hold your hand up and say, I'll be that guy. Maybe it's Nick Saban.
Yeah.
I don't really think it's Nick Saban, but maybe it is. Maybe it's, I don't know, pick your guy. Greg Sankey says, you know what? The big bad SEC will lead the way. But until that happens, dims the brakes. Ole Miss acknowledges that truth.
I just believe that Pete understands his role. I think he's been really good for university. Anytime he opens his mouth, it's almost like he's thinking what I say is quote unquote on behalf of the university. And whether or not he and Sark have history, which we think they do, he never intimated that at all. And he never got in the mud with Lane about the Vanity Fair. I thought the question was fair, but I thought it was a great answer. Yeah, I get texts from him all the time. I look at some of them, but we're good.
I mean, my man's been in PR training for a minute.
He's
boy.
Good now. He's really good.
He wasn't like that in the old days. Now my man's trained. He knows how to do the handshakes. He knows how to say this, that, and the other. Hopefully, Ole Miss knows how to win baseball games tonight against Arizona State whenever it gets started. Before we wrap up, do we have an update on when that's getting started? That'd be great.
I just looked at Jake's socials, and he just pointed out that it's a delay. I don't know that we have a start time. I'm fixing to look here for just a second, and it's he said they do have a rainbow, but it's definitely not starting at 8:00. So late start
we knew
tonight
that.
in Lincoln, Nebraska. And looks like the rain has stopped. So if they get the tarp off, maybe you're hoping for an 8:30 first pitch would be just a guess at this point.
Well, I mean, you are a hopium-filled human being tonight.
I've got my 22 Omaha hat on, so we're ready to roll.
I got my Ole Miss baseball U of M with my NA right here. Shout out to the New Albany Gazette for anybody that wants to read some local news on New Albany, East Union, Ingomar, Myrtle, West Union. Man, you pick it. I had 3 stories go up today, including one on my guy Luke Conley at Myrtle. The shouts out to On 3. Go check that out, the New Albany Gazette. Ahead of above Brad's head is the Ole Miss Spirit link. Sign up today for $1 to try us out for 5 days. The Ole Miss Spirit for all your Ole Miss news and stories and updates and coverage from recruiting and all sports. It's the Ole Miss Spirit. Jake's going to have stories. I'll have stories. Brad will be there. We have a live thread throughout the game. Right now, Arkansas is bounced back to now lead Missouri State, who was up 3-0, 6-3. So the Razorbacks, they're going to be fine.
Real quick, we've got a new sponsor starting on June the 1st. I want to say a special thank you to Shed Hunger, who's a local financial representative for Modern Woodmen of America. He's located at 210 Summit Street in Winona, Mississippi. Or give him a call today, 662-442-4723. That's, of course, in Winona, Mississippi. You can go by and see him from 9 to 5 or give him a call. He'll give you a call right back. Any type of financial need, call our friend Shed Hunger, big Ole Miss fan, and he would love to help you today. We'll have more from Shed in the upcoming month as we're excited to have him partnering with us. Also, Ben, for everybody asking, yes, we're going to SEC Media Day. It will be wall-to-wall coverage, both on the Ole Miss Spirit and the Talk of Champions. We'll be live on location from Tampa. If you'd like to be a part of that coverage, we'd love to have you. We have sponsorship packages currently being sold, and we've got a lot of folks that are on board with us. We're excited to partner with so many. Build Different Fitness is back on board with us. Chick-fil-A is back on board with us. So we're excited for them, along with others that are joining us. If you have any questions about any of our packages, just follow us on social channels at Brad Logan TOC or at Spirit Ben. That's, of course, on Twitter. I'm on Facebook at Brad Logan Media. And then, of course, you can get in touch with us at all points in between. So excited to go down to Tampa and bring you all the coverage for a very festive SEC Media Day this year.
Hunter's getting the ball. And after a chaotic day, even if I said and you said and we both agreed, and I think everybody, the majority of us were on the side of Taylor Rabe, give him the ball for game 1. Not after today. Now I just want the last remaining champion in the room, to get the ball and go get Ole Miss to 1-0 in the Lincoln Regional. And Auburn lost today. And Brad, I told him not to do it, but dang it, he did it to me anyway, filling me with hopium. If Auburn, who lost today, loses its regional, Ole Miss is the higher of the 2 seeds. So if Ole Miss wins its regional, the Lincoln Regional, it will host a super at Ole Miss at home in Oxford, Mississippi for the first time since 2009.
And most importantly, Ben, if they win, they would be able to advance to Omaha, the site of the College World Series, for the first time in program history from its own field. Can you imagine that dog pile in Swayze? Can you imagine it, Ben?
I can't imagine it. as my friend Billy Landis is calling me as we're doing a live edition of Talk of Champions, powered as
Billy never
always by our
sleeps,
friend.
man.
Yeah, Billy never sleeps, and he always has an uncanny ability to call me while I'm podcasting, including this live pregame show before Ole Miss has first pitched in Nebraska. I'll see you afterwards with the Ole Miss Spirit. Brad, all of you in the chat, thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. God is good. See you, Brad.
So long, everybody.